Hello again. So I mentioned I wanted to make a video with bicycle lighting, how to judge it, etc. And it's a very complex topic. I'm going to start, maybe I'll incorporate it in that video that's to come, with this. Why do companies not make bike lights with neutral white, something like this, instead of cool white? And that's something like this. So this is cool white, and this is more neutral white. The colors pop more. That's what you feel, especially visible, for example, in yellows, but also in pink. For example, pink is badly shown and it looks like almost blue. So LEDs have a blue spike, and cool white LEDs most of all. Neutral white 4000 Kelvin versus 6000. This is about 6000. This is about 4000. There's a huge difference. This is, for example, what you can see with 4000 Kelvin neutral whites, although not a high CRI LED. A CRI of 80, I think, something like that. This is 6000 Kelvin, low CRI, and you see almost nothing in between here, between the green. The scene looks flat. It looks really bad. It's as if your depth perception is gone. And this looks like something real, and this is not just a camera effect. It works like that in reality. I've seen it, I've tried all that. You can read it here on my webpage about LEDs, light color, CRI, and experiments in fog and various road surfaces. So I tried LEDs in fog, on wet roads, dry roads, repaired roads, normal asphalt roads, gravel, side of the road, anything. And what turned out was that the best was about neutral white, 4000 Kelvin, or a bit lower, 3800, I think is probably optimal. High CRI adds a little bit to it, but the biggest improvement comes from going to neutral white lights. Now, there is high CRI daylight LEDs. For example, the Nietzsche 519A in 5700 Kelvin, which is more like 5300 or so in reality, looks almost like daylight, and everything looks good, but it still does not look as good as this. It does not emphasize the colors as well. Everything looks a bit bland, and what you want is that things stand out more in when riding in at night, to see everything better, to see the distinctions better. And so this is absolutely the worst. Then comes this, and neutral CRI, I should add a picture. That improves a little bit about it, especially, for example, reds will improve, and yellows. Yellow will show more. It shows as very bland with 6000 Kelvin low CRI. Then 4000 Kelvin low CRI from 70 to 80 or so. Then it's already a little bit better. It pops, the color pops more, and high CRI, it's even better. Let's see what do I have here. Here you see the browns and the yellows from the leaves, and here you see the yellows. Yes, the beam is also wider, of course, but the yellow is not as vibrant, and the browns almost disappear with the soil that's on the tiles. And here you see the brown clearly, and you need to see that for example, because they are very slippery when it's wet. So it's important to be able to see that. Now, why aren't companies interested in making bicycle lighting with... Here's another difference here. I see this is a rock, clearly. I know that's the type of rock, but okay. Here I absolutely cannot make out what this is. Of course, this is a bit more dark here below. Here. But still, I should be able to recognize this section, and I can't. But when I look here, then I know what it is. I see that this is a bit, yes, like a cement block or something made from cement, which is uneven, and here there's some moss on it. Why don't companies use this? Lower color temperature and if possible even high CRI. Well, they don't do it because the lumen output, so the light output in lumens is lower with neutral whites, and with high CRI it's even less than with cool white. And yet, with that lower output, and also with that apparently lower output from the eyes, you see it is less bright, or it appears less bright rather. For example, a LED light that puts out the same amount of light in cool white or in neutral white looks brighter. The cool white looks brighter. It looks whiter. Doesn't mean that you can see everything better, obviously, because here you're missing all kinds of stuff, and you're not getting that back if you put up the light output even 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. You're not getting that back, that information. You lose the difference here between you lose the yellow and the browns. That's not coming back, so you're losing information. This means cool white is low CRI is always worse. Cool white's high CRI is still not as good in my test compared to neutral white low CRI, and the best is neutral white high CRI. Why don't companies don't use it because of the light output is lower. They can't make the claims it puts out this much lumens. Secondly, on beam shots and in reality it appears less bright, even though it isn't. You can see better with it. You can see, but I mentioned riding with a guy. He was interested in the BD backlights that a friend of mine in Poland makes. I was riding with that on my bike. He was riding with his bike using a Luxus U or B. U or B. I don't know which one it was, but the U is only slightly brighter for a short time using a sort of capacitor or a small battery that's being charged, and when that's charged you can use the higher power output for a while. Doesn't really matter, it doesn't change much, but I think it was the B. But so I said to him, look at the road, look how you can distinguish everything, look at cracks in the road, look at objects on the road, how well you can see everything, the side of the road, and compare it to your lights, the output from your Luxus. And he said, yeah, but it's so much brighter. So the Luxus. I said, look at everything on the road. See how you can see everything better, distinguish everything better. I couldn't make him see it. People need to be educated, and that's one issue I have with companies not going into it. So Philips did it after my suggestion, after the Philips Backlighting Day in 2012, but then they quit. Unfortunately, they wanted to focus on stuff that makes more money, I think, like medical products, which has come to bite them, but okay. Roxim did it in the D6, the dynamo lamp, but I'm not sure if they did it on purpose. Perhaps it was just an accident that the LED was, I think it was around 5000 Kelvin. I need to do some checks. The Philips light was a bit below 5000, I think. Yeah, I can't do any checking at this moment or comparison. Everything is in storage. Then we had Herman's H1S. Herman's changed the LED from cool white to neutral white, and the reason they did it was because they could get a higher lux rating with it, which means they could use that number for advertising. So it's again advertising lumen, advertising in lux, and advertising in apparent brightness in fairs. This is what the exposure told me. They're marketing guys, so they know about all this stuff, about color temperature, high CRI, because they're also making medical products, and for that you need to use high CRI, good quality lighting, but not in bike lighting. There's no prescription for that. But he said, yeah, but we need to deal with people at fairs, etc. They shine the light, for example, onto the roof with various lights, and then they say, wow, look at this is bright. But this doesn't tell you how really well the light actually shows you all the objects on the roads and how you can distinguish them. Issue with light, there was this video on YouTube that I watched a few days ago. Blinding headlights are a growing problem on US roads. Yeah, you get blinded partly because of the blueness of the light, the blue spike in LED lights and the blue in xenon headlights. Give a lot of glare, and you can't. It's also hard to focus. You can try it, for example, with this. This is an X terminal. I used to have this as a route with black background. I changed it to yellow because black background I could not focus on the blue letters when it was dark in the room. I could not see. I could not read it. It's really weird. Change it to yellow, no problem. And it's because here it's hard to focus on the on the blue. Blue gives various kind of problems for your vision system. And yeah, so what should happen? So one company that I recently had contact with is interested in doing something like this, using the right. They're doing tests, so using the right LED lights, etc. They're doing tests. I don't know what's going to happen with it because the products aren't there, and it's probably going to take a year or so. And who knows what will happen? Maybe they will focus on mountain biking, but maybe they will also go for road lights. I don't know yet. We will have to see. Another company said, "Yeah, we're not going to do that." Actually, almost none of the companies are contacted. The companies that I contacted about this didn't respond or said, "We're not going to do that." So 4000 Kelvin, approximately, neutral white light. And it's very, very pity because then you never get any progress. We haven't any progress in this since 2010 or so, since I started advocating 4000 Kelvin LED lights for bicycling. And only Philips did it, but they unfortunately stopped. And all the rest continue making these crap lights. And by the way, I think I've decided on the Garo C1. It uses 5000 Kelvin light, which is just about okay. But I don't think for £350 I'm going to buy it. Then I would really want 4000 Kelvin. Then I want something really optimal, and I want to see also first beam shots, seeing how even it is. Haven't seen any proper beam shots yet. Okay, so advertising overrules all the other things. Maybe the government should mandate sub 4000 Kelvin light for vehicles. That's it for now. Bye.